Hi, I'm Skilla, and this is Nerd Stuff with Skilla, and today I watched the 4th episode of Inhumans. This episode is a disaster, start to finish. Just bad. Just bad. This show just gets worse and worse, and by nature of it being bad, in my mind, I am picking apart more things than I usually would, and I know that, and just, if you're gonna get upset about it, whatever. Spoilers, of course, for the first 4 episodes of Inhumans. If you haven't watched it and intend to watch it, Godspeed, go do that, and then come on back and let's talk about it. There's just constant tiny details that are reminders of the giant TV turd that ABC, with the help of IMAX, has plopped down onto our fall lineup. This episode starts with a car chase with some police where Medusa and Luis are trying to catch up with Black Bolt, who's in a helicopter, and they lose track of him, of course. A cop car flips, and that's pretty much the best scene of the whole episode, is this cop chase. You really get a handle on how little chemistry Medusa and Luis have with each other through the really badly written banter that they have in the car ride. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. They pull over, and Luis gets an idea that they pretty much just go haul up in a hotel for a while, and then cops show up there and they leave, and she's like trying to figure out where the helicopter came from. Eventually she does. They're outside talking about like Adeline, and like Medusa's trying to tell her stuff about her past. That cuts away and we get the title sequence, and this is the first time that I really watched the title sequence. Actually took it in, and honestly, where they say Inhumans and they show all the different symbols for the different characters, it looks like they paid a 16-year-old $20 to take 5 minutes and create this in PowerPoint. It is really not good. Like, they forgot about it until the end and they had to just slap something together. Like, it's not good. It's not. Following this, we see titles flash over the next 3 entire scenes. That's a whole 5 minutes of this episode where a third of the screen is being blocked out with somebody's name and position in production, as though they're proud of the dumpster fire that they've created and want you to really see their names. So it keeps on cutting away from close-ups to like most of the body shot, right? And then it's like they just splice this scene together so that you could see people's names on the scientist and Black Bolt's legs. And it looks bad, and it's distracting, and again, I'm picking it apart, but it should be said, it made me want to go back and check out how long it takes other shows to do that, because it seemed like it went on for an outrageous amount of time. Like, again, like they forgot that was something they were going to have to do, so they just kind of plopped it on there. 5 straight minutes of seeing big white block letters on the screen. A third of the screen is taken up with these people's names. It's not tastefully to the side. It's not good. It's not good. We find out that Max and the scientists are in cahoots somehow. The scientist doesn't really seem to know that Max is a bad dude, but we don't really know in what way they're affiliated. We just know that they are, and it's bad. And let's play a drinking game. How many times will I say is bad in this video? So they have this whole conversation, and the scene ends, and Max is up there glancing around and straightening his jacket like he's a villain in a freaking Looney Tunes episode, and we cut away and we go to our first commercial break. And then after that first commercial break, we jump right back into their conversation as though it hadn't already ended. Who edited this show? Who edited this show? Karnak and Jenna are in this pointless pig trail side relationship thing, and she shows him how to cut weed a little closer to the stem, and he's like, oh, that's exciting. After he's like irrigation whizzed this whole thing together, like it just doesn't, it's not motivated to me. You know, here's this chick growing weed out in the forest in Hawaii with 2 hot dudes for months now. I mean, these are pretty big plants. They've been at it for a while. And she was just waiting this whole time for some alien with face tattoos to fall down the mountain into her and show her how to irrigate a freaking plot. Like they didn't study anything. Like, you don't know what irrigation is, okay. Anyway, maybe they already had something set up. I don't know. It's weird. It's bad. It's weird. So they have like the funniest scene in this whole episode is when the two of them are like walking through the woods and she's all, oh, you don't need a destination, it's about the journey. And he's like, oh, but I'm always looking for a destination. That's my inhuman ability. And then they get to the beach and she's like, I'm taking my clothes off. Let's go for a swim. The other guys do it sometimes. And he's like, okay. So they jump in the water and they smooch. And then we are done with that. There's some confrontation between the other two farmer dudes. Doesn't really have a point. I mean, it does have a point, but the point's just like, why? Next we get the first, oh hey, those guys are still around scene, in which my favorite new band, Gorgon and the Surfing Gorillas, talk about what just happened. And Gorgon's like, I am clumsy, and I don't know why I like humans now. I am sad that Lucky is dead. And the other dudes are like, nah, dude, it's cool. And then he's like, I am still sad. And that's it. That's pretty much it. We just are reminded that they're walking around and that Lucky died. In our second, oh hey, those guys are still around scene, we get the Maximilian's band of merry miscreants running around in the woods for like 5 seconds. Mortis drops a one-liner and then we cut away and they're gone for a while. But when they come back, Max tells them where Black Bolt is and how to get to him. And then they're gone for a while. They've just been traipsing through the woods this whole time looking for Black Bolt. Where is he? Probably in the woods. Next we see Crystal make friends with the guy who ran over Lockjaw. They talk a little bit and it turns out he knows a vet tech. He used to be in a relationship with the vet tech. They don't like each other. That's all that happens. The vet tech's all, oh no, Lockjaw's gonna be good. That's a strange big dog you have there. And then that's over. So why do I give a single fuck about her and I think his name's David's relationship? Like, it doesn't pertain to the story. In what way is that going to get us farther? Could we not have just chopped all that shit out and had her like chilling with Lockjaw in the woods for a couple days, you know, poking around and trying to heal him or something? Like, if you're gonna give me a pointless plot that I just don't care. I just don't care. You're just giving me an extra 5 minutes of pointless exposition that's forced down our throats and not told in an artful way at all to move along a plotline that doesn't matter to the story. You're telling a shitty story. You're telling a shitty story in a shitty way, and I don't like it. God damn it. Maximus wants to do Terrigenesis again, and I guess he wants to use some of Black Bolt's DNA to create an inhuman ability for himself. I guess. It's not really clear at all. We know that he wants to do Terrigenesis again. We know that the Genetic Council's not down with that, except for Torben or Tobin, whatever the fuck his name was. He's like, oh, you choked me, now I like you. And then he's on Maximus' side. And then Maximus sicks some guards onto some Genetic Council members, and because none of them apparently have any inhuman abilities, so why the fuck are they at the station in life that they are in? They just point some guns at the Genetic Council and they're like, no, and I guess they're staying in a spherical prison now or whatever. So that Maximus can do the Terrigenesis again. Instead of just being a nice dude and trying to fix some things, he's doing like the thing that he shouldn't do that might kill him, because why motivations? Clearly he's got a hinge loose. I mean, he's always staring off into the distance with his big blue eyes going, I wish I had inhuman abilities. Black Bolt always got more toys when we were kids. I'm going to say some more things as melodramatically as possible because the writers on this show don't know what they're doing. Boy, I wish Medusa would tie me to the bed with her long strands of hair that I just removed. It's all ridiculous, and no amount of good acting can save this script. Can't be done. And it can't save the editing choices that they chose to make. Even if every scene is well acted, it is so bogged down with terrible editing and terrible writing that you can't focus on whether the actor is giving a good performance or not. And sometimes they just aren't even doing that. Ugh! The big action suspense scene at the end of the episode, we see 3 groups converge, and that is Black Bolt and Lava Hands, Medusa and Louise, and Maximus's murderous band of merry misfits who are coming to take Black Bolt away. Basically, they're like, hey, we've got Medusa. And he's like, oh, I won't do anything now because you might hurt her. And he stares at them. And then, I will never remember that chick's name. The main lady, like, she's having a little confrontation with Black Bolt. And then she's like, Mortis. And Mortis comes out of the shadows, ready to kick some ass and take some names. Only he doesn't see any names around here. So he starts to lift his little veil up. And Black Bolt takes 5 steps to the left, slowly pulls down the connector on a line to a tank full of gasoline, and she's like, smart move. If he shoots at you, we all die. Go ahead, Mortis, kill us all. And Lava Hands like runs away, and Black Bolt jumps behind a building, and then the Maxie's Patsies like step away from the fire. I mean, they all run away. Their stunt people did a good job running and tucking and rolling and whatnot. After the explosion, which has like 17 cuts in the middle of it, so you can see it from every angle, you see the bodies of the baddies, and they're closer to the fire than where you saw them run to. That could have been fixed. That could have been fixed. And they're all knocked out, and the 2 good guys get away. And like, of course, Medusa and Black Bolt run into each other's arms and have this face squishy kiss. And then she's like, hey, that chick can help us. And so he like picks her up and throws her in a trunk. Lava Hands is gone, and Mortis starts stirring, but Black Bolt, of course, doesn't whisper in his direction and blow up all of everything. And they drive away into the sunset. And the final scene of this episode, to top it off, that makes you want to watch the next episode of the show, is Karnak getting laid. To end the episode, Karnak gets laid. Him and Weed Chick, her name's Jenna. Him and Jenna start getting on in the tent, and he's like, this bra is confusing. She's like, let me help you. And then they bang. And that's it. That's the whole episode right there. I just don't understand how it hasn't been canceled already. I'm pretty sure most other YouTubers who have done reviews for Inhumans stopped doing them because there is nothing good to say about it at this point. Like, episode 3, it was fine. Every other moment of this TV show has been garbage. And it's really sad. It's really sad because they're great characters. Black Bolt is a fantastic character. And I would love to see him in a show that doesn't suck, but that's not going to happen. This episode was a disaster from start to finish. It was bad. Bad editing, bad writing, weird choices. I just don't understand how everything went so wrong. I know that there are reasons for it, and you should cut them some slack, and that making a movie or a TV show is really hard, and when the forces that be are working against you, it makes it even more difficult. I just can't. I just can't. I'm really sad. I'm really sad about this. I know I'm smiling, but I'm really sad about it. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to hear me talk about things that I like, and apparently things that make me want to strangle somebody. And, comment down below with anything. Just comment down below. Tell me how your day's going, Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time when I watch The Gifted, which is an actually good show.